I got a whole lot of anger in me.
Um, First, I just want to say shalom to my brother, shalom to the viewers out there or whoever's going to watch this live stream once it get uploaded to my platform. My name is Shema Shem. Camp is 3BY. First, we just want to say, call halal Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, we give him all praise to the Father and his heavenly Son, who the word ignorantly called Jesus Christ. And today I have a group of brothers for this live stream. It's gonna be something, it's just gonna be like a chill introduction, nothing too much. We just gonna have the brothers to introduce themselves and just get to know the camp more. And yeah, I digress. Any brothers who want to go ahead start us off right correctly?
Khan. First and foremost, call Allah Banawa Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai Mashiach. We just want to give all praise to the Most High in the name of His only begotten Son. Like Brother Shem just said, I am Emmanuel Kazak Halawaya, which just means God that is with us. Be strong and give Him all praises. If anybody else want to follow up behind me, I digress.
Allah, Yahweh, Bahashim, Amashiach, Yahweh Shah, Brother, Brother Kodash.
This is Kahala, Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shah. This is my Shah speaking. You feel me?
Shut up.
Praises to the Most High. Who said that?
Shalaki, I thought my mic was muted.
Yeah, good. This is my Shah speaking. You feel me? Let's see y'all praise the Most High. Welcome to our platform. Give y'all a lot of enlightenment. A lot of truth on here. You feel me? And I digress.
Yep. Call halal Yahweh Bahashem Amashiach Yahweh Shai. That's the name we do everything that we do in. We hate to be like Moses and Meribah, not having enough faith to give the Most High the credit. Hiya Karab Taza Pabanya Sarala. I am Karab your sword, Taza Pa your watchman. And we just kicking it. You know, we understand that there's power in that name. Some do and some don't. But we gonna operate in it. I digress.
I know we have two other brothers who has introduced themselves, man. Let's go ahead, start it off correctly so we go ahead and get this show on the road. But if y'all busy, I understand. I just talk for y'all. If y'all busy, I speak on y'all behalf. If y'all can't talk. Okay, I get it. Okay,
Brother Azariah said he can't say all that, but we all speak English. We get
Good. Hey, brother Ezra, a mighty man, brother Yawal, a mighty man. Also, them brothers probably probably having technical issues right now, but it's all good. We still gonna thrive to do things decently in order. That's one thing that we trying to do, we striving to do. So yeah, man, while we edit, since we just got done introducing ourselves, gentlemen, I just want to welcome you to our first ever online camp. Normally from the previous camp, we have been doing it outside on the streets, on the highways and byways, in the field, trying to spread this truth and this gospel to the lost soul, to the lost sheep of Israel. But we just doing it on another platform right now. Instead of on the highways, we behind these laptops and these cellular devices. So since brother Amon was the ideal expert of this topic, like I said, I'm going to digress and let my brother give us the instructions and give us the agenda for today, since we all meeting up through the internet.
Khan. That was a perfect segue, Brother Shem, for what I had in mind for tonight. Um, the instruction is what we're going to get into, which is what the law is about. That's all we're here for. Um, and we are brothers bound by Yahweh, and all we feel like is that his law was our instruction and is our way of life and is our whole duty to keep. And with that understanding, we can get straight into Exodus 20, which goes into some of the first commandments that we're given as Israelites. So I'll just start reading Exodus 20 in verse 1, and it reads, "And God spake all these words, saying, I am the Lord thy God, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage, that thou shalt have no other gods before me." Salakia, let me see if I can get my screen shared so everybody can see what I'm reading as well.
Con, they'll be helpful right there.
And if I could get that screen shared, Brother Shan.
Con, I got you. Let me add you the stage right there. Does everybody see it? We live in effect.
Con.
All right. All praise to the Most High. Okay.
Con. So I'll start off going into Exodus 20 again. This is the version of the KJV. We're going to start off with verse 1. And God spake all these words, saying, I am the Lord thy God, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage, that thou shalt have no other gods before me. Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image, or any likeness of anything that is in the heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them, for I, the Lord thy God, am a jealous God, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children unto the third and fourth generation of them that hate me, and showing mercy unto thousands of them that love me and keep my commandments. So we can just take a brief intermission and go into verse 6 specifically, or respectfully go back to verse 5, where Yahweh specifically tells us that he is a jealous God. And then you go into verse 6, letting us know, even though he's jealous, he will show us mercy. So this whole faith that has been spoken about from the Christian church all these times, having faith is only for the time of the mercy. So we still have to keep the commandments for when it's the time of the judgment, if that makes sense. So we can continue. And it clearly says, of them that love me and keep my commandments. A lot of people like to go into the New Testament to show the love of Yahweh is keeping the commandments. But we can come and see right here in Exodus 20 and verse 6 as well, that the love of the Most High is keeping the commandments that he is giving, which is the instruction. So I'll proceed and we can go back into verse 7.
So like it, brother. I just want to just to also turkey back with you, right? How we mentioned in Exodus, that key word right there is the key word that stood out to me personally when you was reading the scripture. It was the word jealousy, like jealous. And that stood out to me because you have the God, a supreme deity, a God that can literally turn the stones into his own inheritance. To he can literally turn anything to his chosen people. But in this case right here, you see where the Most High is showing emotion. You see where the Most High is getting upset when we disobey his laws, statutes, and commandments. And I just want to turkey back with that, right? When we go to the book of Jeremiah, chapter 6, verse 2, I love putting this precept out. It says, I have likened the daughter of Zion are the Israelite, to a comely and delicate woman. The Most High have that love and that compassion for us, that he see us as a marriage, like he look at Israel as his wife, as a marriage. So when we go out there and spiritually hoard them, when we go out there and to other gods, or breaking his laws, breaking his covenant, that hurt his heart. Like he get jealous over that. And it's just like a husband and his wife. When the wife do something that the husband disagree with or instructed her not to do, that make the husband feel some type of way. So I just want to put that out there. That every time when I hear that verse, it always stand out to me that okay, we have a God that truly care about the relationship of his own people, of the people that he choose to be his chosen ones. I digress. I just want to add that in there. I just every time I hear that verse, I just always have to expound on to that. Salaki, I'm done, brother. You can continue.
And I got a precept. I wanted to say something on that too, because it's heavy right there when he's talking about like, so like as brother Shem said, like God, he is that jealous guy because he views us as his wife, his partner. So I got a precept, Deuteronomy chapter 7, what that is, verse 9. Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 9. And it says, know therefore that the Lord thy God, he is God, the faithful God, which keepeth covenant and mercy with them that love him and keep his commandments to 1,000 generations. So he just go back to what he said up in Exodus, him confirming that love for us, that covenant that he made with us through us, showing our love for him by keeping his commandments.
Con. Anybody else got any precepts? Con. Or we can get back into it where we left off, verse 7, where it says, thou shalt not take the name of the Lord thy God in vain, for the Lord will not hold him guiltless that taketh his name in vain. Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. 6 days shalt thou labor and do all thy work, but the 7th day is the Sabbath of the Lord thy God. In it thou shalt not do any work, thou, nor thy son, nor thy daughter, nor thy manservant, nor thy maidservant, nor thy cattle, nor thy stranger that is within thy gates. I don't want to see nobody doing no labor, which is what this is what's specifically referencing. People like to get into what kind of work it's talking about. Let's see here. To serve, any type of serving you're doing. So especially if you're not working independently for yourself and you're working for someone else, it is definitely not permitting you to do that type of work on the Sabbath. To be a bondman, same, compel, to keep, labor, bring to pass, cause, to make to. So I can't see through the definition of the word labor, which is the word abad in Hebrew. I can't see it permitting too much of any type of work that you can do. When people try and get into the specifics of what kind of work it's talking about, that is prohibited on the Shabbat, I don't really see what it is prohibiting. Let's continue. When it says, for in 6 days the Lord made the heaven and earth and the sea and all that in them, is rested in the 7th day. Wherefore the Lord blessed the Sabbath day and hallowed it. Honor thy father and thy mother, that the days may be long upon the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee. Thou shalt not kill. Thou shalt not commit adultery. Thou shalt not steal. Thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's house. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife, nor his manservant, nor his maidservant, nor his ox, nor his ass, nor anything that is thy neighbor's. So me personally, I don't even want to see a brother walking down the street with some Nikes on and be envious and feel like, oh man, I gotta get them, bro. I got to. Because according to the scriptures, that's it's a not only would it be considered a transgression because we shouldn't covet anything of our neighbors, but it's what kind of spirit you have to have, or what kind of spirit that type of behavior is condoning to want something that someone else wants, or that belongs to someone else, rather. And I'll keep going.
Salakia.
Go ahead.
For for like the people, for the future audience who Lord's willing, tune in and watch. Can you expound more of covetousness? Can you expound more on covet? Just get a viewer the viewers a breakdown, a definition of it, if you don't mind, brother.
Come. Well, as we can see here on the screen, I don't want to do too much of my own interpretation. We have the word kamad, which is the Hebrew word that is translated into covet in this specific verse, in Salakia, in this specific verse. And that word kamad means to delight in, greatly beloved, to desire, to covet, to take pleasure in, to delight greatly, to desire greatly. So, like I said, in a sense, it's the wanting of something that isn't yours or that isn't for you.
Hey, this just came to my thought as you were reading this.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, we know about the scripture. What the scripture said: "Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's house," right? Thy neighbor's wife, nor his man servants, or his maid servants, right? Nor his ox, nor his ass, nor anything that is thy neighbor's.
Mm-hmm.
What came to my thought about this was also another reason why I believe that the Most High gave Moses this law for us is also because the very first law, the very first commandment, it says, "Thou shalt have no other gods before me." I feel like, to me, the reason why he also added this law so we won't be jealous or wanting to have another god as we see other nations will have. So, you know what I'm saying? How we were like, man, I wish I wish my God can do what Ham God did or something like that. One basically telling our forefathers not to want another nation God as well. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, don't be trying to wish to have another God but him, because like we just read, he is a jealous God as well.
Right.
So
And I can agree. And just to turkey back, I would say that you're dead on, because when you look at it, one of our neighboring nations literally made a bull their god, which is a cattle. So I can definitely agree with you 100% there. So like I said from the beginning, I would definitely put in all aspects to say, not to want anything of thy neighbors. Of course, it went into specifics in the verse, but I would just say to stay on the 100% safe side of zero transgression. I don't want nothing that the next man has. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So I agree with you as well as these other gods that people make that we don't give any acknowledgement. So Salakia, for so long of an intermission. Let's continue with our reading. And it says, "Honor thy father and thy mother, that thy days may be long upon the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee. Thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not commit adultery, thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor, thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's house, thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife, nor his manservant, nor his maidservant, nor his ox, nor his ass, nor anything that is thy neighbor's. So there it is right there. Even after the specific, it clearly tells you, nor anything that is thy neighbor's. And all the people saw the thunderings and the lightnings and the noise of the trumpet and the mountain smoking. And when the people saw it, they removed and stood afar off. So let's just look at this verse again for a second, and we'll keep going. And I just want to put some food for thought for the brothers and the viewers out there. If we looked up to a mountain today, and only on this mountain it was thundering and lightning, and we seen noises of a trumpet, and the mountain was smoking, y'all know what kind of reaction we would have. We not even gonna play dumb right now.
Who gonna go up there first? Cause I ain't going. That's fact. Who gonna go up there first? You got to be out your mind. Nope.
So once again, this is what we see upon the mountain, simultaneously when the Lord is giving the commandments to Moses. And they said unto Moses, speak thou with us, and we will hear, but let not God speak with us, lest we die. And Moses said unto the people, fear not, for God is come to prove you, and that his fear may be before your faces, that ye sin not. So that's the only reason that we seen what we seen at the mountain, was to have some type of evidence that the Most High and his instruction was real, so we wouldn't sin, so we wouldn't transgress against it. Right. So I'm finna come show y'all that Moses ain't just pulled this out of his behind. He really getting this from somewhere. So y'all take heed and don't transgress these instructions. Verse 21. And the people stood afar off, and Moses drew near unto the thick darkness where God was. So people like to say, they like to call God the Father, and they like to call God the Father, but they also like to interpret the scripture, and I believe it's the book of John. I can't think of the exact chapter and verse. If somebody knows it, you could tell me right off when I paraphrase it for you. That no one has seen or heard the Father's voice. Let's go straight to it.
There's well, that also in Exodus as well. Exodus Exodus 33 verse 20. But I know what you're talking about. You talking about 1 John chapter 4 verse 12. Let's pull that out real quick.
In John 6:44, I believe.
John 6:44. Okay. Well, I was
I'm actually it's so many of them, y'all. I'm actually talking about John 5:37 verbatim.
John 5:37.
Yeah.
Okay, come. Okay. So okay. We'll just make sure. Sure. Because it says in John chapter 4, verse 12, it says, no man have seen God at any time. If we love one another, God dwelleth in us, and his love is perfect in us. That's why I thought you wanted right there. But you said John what, brother?
In John 5:37 as well, and it says, and the Father himself, which has sent me, this is Christ talking, or speaking rather, has borne witness of me. Ye have neither heard his voice at any time, nor seen his shape.
That just two witnesses right here. And let me go ahead and pull out the third witness then. Third witness, we can just go ahead and mark it down. I think that's Exodus. Let me go to it. Bear with me. Exodus chapter 33, verse 12. And it says, let me see. That's not it. No. Yeah, this no, that's not it. It's not Shalaki. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Yeah,
Mhm.
don't worry about it. Yeah, don't worry about it. You can continue. I thought that was the third one. I'm looking at something else. We good, brother. You can go ahead and continue.
It's all good. I scripture say 2 or more. So
Right.
now that we have those 2, we know that the Bible doesn't contradict itself. So let's see what's going on here with Moses.
Right.
It says, and the people stood afar off, and Moses drew near unto the thick darkness where God was. And the Lord said unto Moses, thus thou shalt say unto the children of Israel, ye have seen that I have talked with you from heaven. Ye shall not make me gods of silver, neither shall ye make me unto gods of gold. An altar of earth thou shalt make unto me, and shalt sacrifice thereon thy burnt offerings and thy peace offerings, thy sheep, thine oxen, in all the places I record my name. I will come unto thee, I will bless thee, and if thou wilt make me an altar of stone, thou shalt not build it of hewn stone, for if thou lift up thy tool upon it, thou hast polluted it. Neither shalt thou go up by steps unto mine altar, that thy nakedness be not discovered thereon. So these are all commandments still here in the last couple verses from the Most High as well, that are not in the 10 commandments. So just here in Exodus 20 alone, we can get rid of the theory that there are only 10 commandments. For anyone who is subject to that theory that there is only 10 commandments, I suggest that you read through Exodus 20 all the way through thoroughly, which is the same place that you find what people consider the 10 commandments. There are clearly multiple commandments following the 10 commandments.
And the reason why we only had those 10 commandments because what was that verse again, brother? Well, when they looked at the mountaintops and they heard the trumps and the thunder. Go back to that. What's
Was
that?
it
Verse
19?
18.
Yeah, verse 18.
18.
Yeah. So when we see that, the water, when we see that, right, the reason why we was given those 10 commandments because our people was afraid to talk to the Most High for themselves. So we had to send Moses. So Moses went up there to the mountain. Most High gave him the first 10. And then when he came back down, then you started to see throughout the chapter that okay, now we're starting to add him. Now he's not adding, but giving more commandments from the Most High to the people of Israel, because that's the only reason why we only got the 10 first, because the people was afraid. They didn't want to go up there, so they just had to send Moses. So that verse 18 is the reason why we was only given those 10 commandments. I digress.
God. We can move on and continue reading. We're just gonna read a few chapters tonight and go into the understanding of the commandments. Especially, like I say, once again, we are brothers who are bound solely by nothing but Yahweh and His law, Salakia, and we understand that the law begins with the commandments that were given by Moses, which starts in Exodus 20. And continues on for a few chapters directly. So we can start reading Exodus 21, verse 1.
So like it one more time, one more thing too, brother. You had mentioned about the golden images and stuff, like how we shouldn't make any gold image. So for my Hellenized ox out there, my brothers, my sisters, my uncles, if you Israel, whether this be Baptist, Catholic, or non-denomination, whatever, gold cross that you have on, that's transgression of the law. That's a graven image that the Most High command us not to wear. That those gold image of Caesar Borgia, which you people ignorant think that's Christ, right? That's also a sin. You're going against what the scripture said. If you want to represent Yahweh, if you want to represent God, Numbers 15:30, you must wear your fringes. You must wear your tassels. That's how we supposed to represent our Father. That's how we supposed to remember our covenant, not wearing golden images of him or wearing a gold cross. Why would you want to wear something that they crucified your Savior on? It's just like me saying I want to wear a Glock 40 that killed my mother. How stupid would they look on me? I digress, brother. We could
Yeah,
continue.
Con. The scriptures say he hung on a tree. We got great grandparents that hung on trees. You know how crazy it would be for us to walk around with a noose or a tree on our neck and say, "Yeah, man, I'm rocking this because it's what my granddaddy died on."
Facts.
Hey,
I
hey,
couldn't explain it no better.
hey,
Yeah, but
that's
on top
crazy.
of that, that's a curse in the law. It said he who hangs on a tree is cursed. So that's not nothing good that we should be celebrating. We supposed to be celebrating the fact that he's risen.
Con. Because my God nor my Lord dies. and the only reason that we know the Lord had to die in flesh, even though he was written, was solely according to prophecy.
That's right.
Um, so, like I say, once again, if if anybody has any precepts, we can bring them out. If anybody wants to volunteer and read chapter 21, now's the time to snatch it up. If not, I can go through it. I won't put as many intermissions in this chapter so we can go through it a little more fluently. Calling any volunteers? 5.
I'll knock it out. But you also mentioned about prophecies, right?
Mm-hmm.
I just want to go ahead and pull out one of my favorite prophecy of Yahweh Shai dying for his people. It's in the book of prophecy, actually. We can go to the book of Isaiah 53. Bear with me. I'm already on it. Isaiah 53, and we can start at verse 5, where it said, "But he was wounded for our transgression, he was bruised for our iniquities. The chastisement of our peace was upon him, and with his stripes we are healed." That prophecy is talking about, was foreshadowing Yahweh's crucifixion to his people Israel. This and it's plenty more. Is God? It's plenty more precepts to add on, but just to draw time for the people out there. Yes, Isaiah 53 does prophesize the crucifixion of our Lord and Savior, Yahweh Shai, who you guys ignorantly call Jesus Christ. So I just want to add that out there, brother. But I would knock out what we on chapter 21, right?
Gone.
I will knock out chapter 21. Hold on one second. This is the book of Exodus chapter 21, which is the second book of the Old Testament. And we about to go ahead and begin reading verse 1. And it reads as follows. "Now these are the judgment which thou shalt set before them. If thou buy a Hebrew servant 6 years, he shall serve, and in the 7th he shall go out free for nothing." The reason why that 7 years is so specific, because that's the year of Jubilees, where we leave the land to rest, and we also have to let go of any one of our brothers that owe us debt. So that's why that 7 years is so specific. Lord's willing, if we do make it to the kingdom, we will see that 7 year where literally like the whole year like a Shabbat where we just rest. It's kind of crazy. Let's continue. If he came in by himself, he shall go out by himself. If he were married, then his wife shall go out with him. So you can't hold your brother your brother wife, right? That's going off. You must go ahead, okay, let him and his wife go free. And yes, when we look at Hebrew servants, this is not talking about where we abuse our brothers. No, they just a brother that's clearly working for us, owing paying off his debt that he owed to us. It's not like, okay, we finna abuse this man or we finna hurt him. No. And as we continue to read, we'll see that is going against that is going off. Verse 4: if his master have given him a wife, and she have borne him sons or daughters, the wife and her children shall be her masters, and he shall go out by himself. So verse 4 is saying that, okay, if the master gave him his wife, then he have to go out by himself. He can't get it. But if he already had a wife, then yes, the wife must go with him. And if the servant shall plainly say, I love my master, my wife, and my children, I will not go out free, then his master shall bring him unto the judges, and he shall also bring him to the door or unto the door post, and his master shall bore his ear through with an awl, and he shall serve him forever. So this is also a precept to, yes, we did wear earrings. Also, earrings are not unlawful. For whoever think that earrings are unlawful, earrings are not unlawful. But yes,
I wouldn't just point out earrings, just piercings, period, because that all through the ear is a
uh-huh,
piercing. And
con,
Ezekiel 16 would attest to that because it literally says that the Most High gave the Israelites earrings when they were
con,
in the wilderness. So yeah, that's something good for people to know, that piercings are not a transgression. Of course, anything that you do that's not giving credit to the Most High, you could easily transgress, right? You know, so if
right.
you're into some idolatry and they tell you to pierce your ears or any other part of your body for this,
Mm-hmm.
which is a common practice among like everything that comes off of Baal, then
Mm-hmm.
yes, you're transgressing because of the nature of why you're doing it. But piercings, clearly, right here, that all through the ear proves that piercings are not illegal.
Let me ice this real quick, brother man, if you don't mind. Let me go ahead pull out a precept for that, brother. Leviticus 19 and 28, just to prove what he's saying. This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 19, verse 28. This is also another law that was mentioned about the piercing. It literally says, ye shall not make any cuttings in your flesh for the dead, nor print any marks upon you. I am the Lord. So if you're like my brother Kara mentioned, if you're not doing if you do anything that does not acknowledge the Most High God, then you will be going into transgression. And this was a custom from the Canaanites, where they pierced their skin for the dead. It's a easy it's literally we can see that on the movie called Black Panther. It was a villain. Well, I don't see him as a villain, but it was he was the quote unquote protagonist in the movie Black Panther. His name was Killmonger, and he would always pierce his body for every target that he had assassinated. And that's what that Leviticus 19 and 28 is talking about. You're marking your bodies for the dead, and you're not giving reverence to the Most High. You're giving reverence to the dead. It's just like, for an example, when a brother lost his friend in the streets, and you want to get your friend face tattoo on your body, you're not giving reverence to the Most High. You giving reverence to the dead. That's why Yahweh Shai said, let the dead bury the dead. You don't give reverence to nobody but the Most High God, to Yahweh. All right.
Con, and on top of that, we serve a living God. One of Esau's first transgressions was claiming that he was about to die. You see what I'm saying? And that's why when you dealing with those two brothers that's in the book of Numbers, that had burned that strange incense to the Most High. That's why the Most High told the rest of the congregation, uncover not your head. Uncover means to just shalak it or let it go. And that was what the Israelites used to do, is wear sackcloth, ashes, and shalak their hair. And that was a symbol of mourning. And he made sure he told them, uncover not your heads, right? And if you mourn for the dead, then I'm gonna put something on you too. So we worship a living God, and he don't want us doing anything that gives too much reverence to death, because that's not demonstrating the faith that he wants us to have in him.
Con. Exactly. All right, let me go ahead and go back to Exodus chapter 21. And I stopped on verse 6. Okay. And it reads as follows. It said, verse 7. And if a man set his daughter to a maid servant, she shall not go out as the men servants do. If she please not her master who have betrothed her to himself, then shall he let her be redeemed. To sell her unto a strange nation, he shall have no power, seeing that have dealt deceitfully with her. And he have betrothed her unto his son, and he shall deal with her after the manner of daughters. If he take him another wife, her food, her remnant, and her duty of marriage shall not diminish. And if he do not these three unto her, then shall she go out free without money. Exodus 21 verse 10 also clarified with Deuteronomy 21 and 15 as well, that it's not going off when you see a brother with two wives. I just want to add this in here too, and I got to be mindful what I say because this will be going on YouTube. I did just some message for my people. I do not like the fact that you guys want to bash a man for having multiple women, that he's capable, like that he's literally have the ability to provide all her remnant, all her clothes, all her food, right? Being fruitful and multiply. But you don't never want to say nothing when a man dealing with another man. Now that's how wicked this world is, and this Bible goes against that, what I just said in a second with the man and the man. But the Bible supports a man with the two wives that he's capable of providing for. I just want to throw that in there. Like I said, verse 7. Yes, sir. What you
I
got
just
for me?
wanted to throw that in there. If a lot of people ain't caught it, that the scriptures are totally against what we call in the modern times pimping. It doesn't
Yes.
even matter if it's a woman of a strange nation. It's
Yes.
totally against the laws under all circumstances is to pimp a woman out just because you're dissatisfied with what you got out of her when you went into her.
Right. And notice, I never said no girlfriend. I never said no whore. I said a wife. That's what that's what the men of Israel do. When we dealing with a woman, we are trying to make her a wife, not no prostitute, not no harlot, a wife. We never want to fornicate our sisters. Now we don't do that. If we gonna deal with a sister of Israel, with a woman of Israel, we going to make that woman feel special. That's a princess. That's a daughter of Sarah. That's our main goal. It's not about sex. It's about nation building. It's about helping each other. You can't be selfish.
And just to turkey back off of what Kara was saying as well, Yahushua goes and speaks on that out of his own mouth in Matthew chapter 19, I believe.
We need to freeze it.
Starting at around verse 9.
Okay, we talk about the kingdoms.
No, I'm talking about divorcing. The
Divorce. Okay.
only reasons that you should get rid of a woman.
Oh yes, sir. And let me turkey back
Your
on
wife,
that.
brother, your wife.
Con.
Yep, a wife is bound to her husband as long as she's living. A lot of us don't even realize that we technically, with him explicitly stating it like he did, we sleeping with somebody else's wife. We supposed to be inheriting virgins.
Mm-hmm.
Con. That's true. That's true. We supposed to have some damsels up in here.
Just to go into some of the lawful reasons that we can divorce a woman, according to Yahushua, it says, "And I say unto you," this is the book of Matthew, chapter 19, verse 9, and it reads, "And I say unto you, whosoever shall put away his wife, except it be for fornication, and shall marry another, committeth adultery. And whoso marrieth her which is put away, doeth commit adultery. His disciples say unto him, If the case of the man be so with his wife, it is not good to marry. But he said unto them, All men cannot receive this saying, save they to whom it is given. For there are some eunuchs which were so born from their mother's womb, and there are some eunuchs which are made eunuchs of men, and to be eunuchs of which have made themselves eunuchs for the kingdom of heaven's sake, but he has able to receive it, and let him receive it. So I believe it speaks about it as well in an earlier chapter of Matthew, but right here it specifically gives you 3 reasons, to divorce a woman, which
Con.
is fornication, marrying another, or committing adultery.
Con. Just want to turkey back on what you were saying. let me first read this, right? Romans chapter 7, verse 12. Wherefore the law is holy, and the commandment holy, and just and good. So the law is perfect. The law is holy. We must abide by this law. And this is what it's talking about. Romans chapter 7, verse 2. For the woman which hath an husband is bound by the law to her husband, so long as he liveth. But if the husband be dead, she is loose from the law of her husband. Mm-hmm. So then, if while her husband liveth, she be married to another man, she shall be called an adulteress. But if her husband be dead, she is free from that law, so that she is no adulteress, though she be married to another man. And this also for my Christianity, whatever you want to call yourself, apologetic, whatever. Paul always preached about the law. That was Paul stand on. He said he taught what the prophets of old taught. And Paul literally talks about the law. I just want to throw that in there. I just wanted to add that in there. So, and another thing too, we will find it in Deuteronomy. A wife cannot divorce her husband. Only the man can do that. Only the man can write the bill of divorce. I just also want to throw that in there. It's in Deuteronomy as well. Let me go ahead and continue. Exodus chapter 21. Let me unfreeze this verse. Exodus 21, verse 12. Okay, so this is the laws regarding murder. He that smiteth a man so that he die shall be surely put to death. That's one thing what's wrong with us now as a people. We always want to kill our own kind. We always want to destroy our own kind. And this is a law that talks about how the Most High do not want us to kill our own brother. Why you want to kill your brother for? You know that's a sin worthy of death, worthy of punishment. Let's continue. And if a man lie not in wait, but God deliver him into his hand, them I will appoint thee a place whither he shall flee. But if a man come presumptuously upon his neighbor to slay him with gall, thou shalt take him from my altar that he may die. And he that smiteth his father or his mother shall surely shall be surely put to death. My thing is this: You gotta be a sick individual to kill your mother and your daddy. You got to be. I don't care who you are. You gotta be a sick individual to kill your brother. I mean your mother and your father.
Yeah. Go ahead, bro.
No. What you was about to say, brother?
Yeah, read that verse again where if you put your brother to death, even if you go to his altar, I don't want that to go over y'all head, man, because we got something that King David did that y'all don't need to sleep on.
But if a man, if a man come presumptuously upon his neighbor to slay him with gall, thou shalt take him from mine altar that he may die.
You understand what I'm saying? So it's a story in the scriptures, right, where believers when Solomon was swapping over, when the kingdom was about to swap over to Solomon, and it was a brother that fled to the altar
Oh
for
yeah.
safety. And when he sent that brother, he was like, "Hey man, this brother hanging on to the altar. What you want me to do?" You know what David told him? He said, "I believe it was David, y'all." He said, "Go ahead and go finish the job, man." So he was like, "Hey," he went back. He was like, "I'm gonna have to do what I gotta do." He slayed that man right there on the altar. He must have forgot that the altar is for blood.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? But that's why now it's coming to mind that's why David executed that, or it might have been King Solomon. Y'all don't misquote me or let me misquote myself, but that's why that brother went on ahead and got executed, even though he went to that altar for safety. That altar is not gonna protect you from a perfect law because it has to go forward in the way that it was written.
I got that precept for you. Let me go ahead and put it out. It's in
Yeah, I
First
do
King.
need to know who that was
I
pertaining
got you.
to.
First King. Let me go ahead and pull that out for you. Let me, brother Mun. I'm sorry, brother Salaki. Let me go ahead ice this scripture real quick and pull that out for 1 second. This is the
Yeah.
book of First Kings, chapter 2, and we're gonna start at verse 28. Okay, and it reads as follows: the tidings came to Joab. Oh, yeah, hold on. So I got on. Yeah. The tidings came to Joab, for Joab had turned after Adonijah, though he turned not after Absalom. And Joab fled unto the tabernacle of the Lord and caught hold on the horns of the altar. And it was told King Solomon that Joab was fled unto the tabernacle of the Lord. And behold, he is by the altar. Then Solomon sent Benaiah, the son of Jehoiada, saying, go fall upon him. Is that what you're looking for, brother? I think that
Shalakia, my mic was muted. That's definitely it. So it was actually King Solomon. I knew it was during that time, but there you have an example of where it's basically explaining why them brothers executed the law the way that they did. Because that was a time period when King Solomon was in good standings. He was fresh. You know what I'm saying? He hadn't went after, Kimash and all that other crazy stuff just yet.
Con.
And
All
also,
right.
by the way, that word is that G word is guile, which just means deceit.
Guile.
Yeah,
Okay.
so that's when you're speaking about deceit. I think that's in Isaiah 53 when it's describing Christ, when it says there was no guile found in his mouth. The
Oh,
Most
yeah.
High don't deal with deceit. You know what I'm saying? Which is basically the schemes of the devil or the
Con.
Diablos, which means a deceiver. And also, we can all be deceivers. He's
Right.
just not into that.
Right.
There is a such thing as righteous deception that you can clearly see, but we know what type of deceit that we're talking about. It's the type of deceit that's not gonna lead to anything good for your brothers.
Let me go and the water and the water for that detail of what verse 14, the water for expounding on verse 14 for the audience and for 3BY. Let's continue. Laws regarding other offense, and he that stealeth a man. Oh man, this pisses me off every time I read this. And he that stealeth a man and selleth him, or if he be found in his hand, he shall surely be put to death. Oh my goodness. Brother, let me tell you something. Esau, you gotta pay, brother. That's all I'm gonna say about that. number 35, verse 33. You gotta pay.
Because if he don't want us stealing each other, what make you think you're gonna get away with stealing the apple of his eye?
Right. You got to pay, bro. I'm gonna be straight up with you. If you real talk. I can't say what I want to say because I don't want this video to be taken down. All right, let me go ahead and continue. Verse 17. And he that curses his father or his mother shall surely be put to death. And if men strive together, and one smite another with a stone or with his fist, and he die not, but keepeth his bed, if he rise again and walk abroad upon his staff, then shall that smote him be quit. Only he shall pay for the loss of his time, and shall cause him to be thoroughly healed. I just also want to put this out there for you, conscious, quote unquote, conscious society people try to put a bad image on our God. Yahweh talking about that that he allow unexplained action to people. You're clearly wrong. As we going over these laws now, our God is a God of justice. Our God is a God of order. Our God is a God of putting things in the right place at the right time. He knows everything. He sees everything, and he would never have his people in a dysfunctional state like we some heathens. I just want to put that out there as well, man. Verse 20. And if it,
Hey,
yes,
I
sir.
gotta add to that verse right there, right? So the verse said that if men strive together, that mean a fight or a fist fight. And
Right.
smiting is also hitting them with something, with a stone or with an object or with his fist, right?
Uh-huh.
So these are parameters in the law. The Most High know we are men. They know how we coming. I mean, he knows how we coming, right?
Uh-huh.
So this is actually room in the law for an ASS whooping. You
Right.
understand what I'm saying?
Right.
People that act like, oh, you're not a man of the Lord, man. You just beat the crap out of this guy. Well, check it out, man. You must ain't read the Bible. There's a lot of room for some ASS whoopings in here. This is room for ASS whooping of your own brother. You get what I'm saying? You didn't. This
Right.
verse right here said, man, you didn't beat this man so close that you thought he was gonna die, but he didn't. He recovered. So there are parameters in the law that allows that brother in the position of servitude to be freed. But anyway, let's
Right.
keep going, bro.
Right. And it also says, and if a man smite his servant or his maid with a rod, and he die under his hand, he shall surely be punished. Notwithstanding, if he continue a day or two, he shall not be punished, for he is his money. See, we don't supposed to be treating our brothers like that, man. Our brother that was dead. We don't supposed to be doing it, bro. Verse 22, an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. If men strive and hurt a woman with child, so that her fruit depart from her, and yet no mischief follow, he shall be surely punished according as the woman's husband will lay upon him, and he shall pay as the judges determine. And if any mischief follow, then thou shalt give life for life. An eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth, hand for a hand, foot for a foot, burning for burning, wound for wound, stripe for stripe. And if a man smite the eye of his servant or the eye of his maid, that it perish, he shall let him go free for his eye's sake. And if he smite out his man servant's tooth or his maid servant's tooth, he shall let him go for his tooth. So you better not put your hand on that man servant or that maid servant, my boy. They're gonna be free. Don't do it. Laws. Yes, sir.
Once again, I just want to chime in and
Yes,
let
sir.
everybody know this is for any viewers who may be currently watching and weren't watching from the beginning, or anybody in the future that may be skipping through. One of the main things we touched on in the beginning of the reading was that we were about to go into the instruction and the agenda. And just about every single isolated verse has some type of instruction or is an expounding on an instruction. that we've read since the beginning of Exodus 20, every single verse. I'm not sure if anybody else has paid attention to that, but I guess when it comes down to people trying to count how many laws and the 613 number that they have came up with in past times to say that there are 613 laws to keep, you got people that say 613 plus. I feel like we can just about count the verses throughout the first 5 books, or from Exodus to Deuteronomy. Anyway, we can count verse by verse and pretty much see ourselves if we wanted to, and count how many laws there are to keep, because they're pretty blatant, plain as day. Either a direct instruction or an expounding on the previous instruction that was given.
And these not no laws to be taken lightly. Some people will take these and kind of run with them. Make sure that if people are coming across this video and they see some of these laws, that you put them with the advice and the instructions of Hamashiach, Yahushua, who the world calls Christ or Jesus, right? Because he basically giving you the breakdown on how you should be applying these laws. Even though that it's lawful, it might not be expedient to do that. So read the law and then go listen to what Christ said.
Because just to target back on what Kara said, one of my favorites, 1 John chapter 5, verse 3. For this is the love of God, that we keep his commandments, and his commandments are not grievous. So for the people out there who's trying to say, man, these laws, it's too much to follow. Well, you keeping America laws, right? You not in jail yet. So if you can keep America laws, you can keep the laws of your heritage. Yes, sir.
Salaki, I thought you were finished.
Oh, no, brother. I'm finished. You can go ahead. And say what you got to say.
Nah, I was just gonna say, in one of the famous quotes from some of the older generation is, "You can't keep all them laws. Can't nobody keep all them laws." I don't see anything that we've read so far that is hard to keep. Y'all let me know when y'all come across something and say, "Ooh, I don't know if we can keep that," and it doesn't include the temple or offering a burnt offering.
Right.
Yeah.
Besides those,
Come.
I was just saying.
Even if that's the case, we still got almost. If they can't even count how many laws are on the federal books in America, but last time I checked, it's well over 300,000 laws. And if you simply ask a brother that's contending with you on that, say, "Man, are you a criminal?" The moment he says no, he's acknowledging that he's keeping 300,000 laws off the rip.
Right.
Exactly.
Exactly. And my thing is this too. You guys, for the people who watching it, let me tell you something. My thing is this. I'm not saying that we gonna always be perfect. Not necessarily perfect, but we gonna always get things right, especially if you coming into this truth. But the one thing that I want you guys to remember is Matthew chapter 5, verse 48 is, "Be ye therefore perfect, even as your Father which is in heaven, as your Father which is in heaven is perfect." Strive to be perfect. And what makes you perfect is by keeping the laws. I'm not saying that, okay, you just getting in this truth and you going to keep everything right, because according to Proverbs, it said that a righteous man will fall 7 times. We can find that in Proverbs. What's that again? Proverbs 24, verse 16. It literally says that, "For a just man falleth 7 times and rises up again, but the wicked shall fall into mischief." Bro, when you fall, get your tail back up, man, and keep on striving. Keep striving to do right. Don't let that one mistake or a bad choice or transgression hold you down. Keep on going, bro, because it's not how fast you go. It's all about the destination. It's all about what your destination gonna be. You know what I'm saying? It's really not okay. oh, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. Oh, yeah, let me keep the Shabbat right. No. You want to make sure you keep all things right. All laws that you are capable of keeping. You need to make sure that you can master them, adjust to them. You gonna make some mistakes. We all make mistakes. That's why we got to be born again. And that's why he gonna come back and reteach us anyway. But strive to be perfect as your father that's in heaven is. That's our goal. We are striving to be perfect. So it shouldn't be no excuses. I just wanted to put that in there. What verse did I stop on, guys? Verse 29. No, verse 28. Okay. We almost done. If a ox gore a man or a woman that they die, then the ox shall be surely stoned, and his flesh shall not be eaten, but the owner of the ox shall be quit. But if the ox were wont to push with his horn in time past, and it hath been testified to his owner, and he have not kept him in, but that he hath killed a man or a woman, the ox shall be stoned, and his owner also shall be put to death. Even the owner got to get wiped. Verse 30. If there be laid on him a sum of money, then he shall give for the ransom of his life whatsoever is laid upon him, whether he have gored a son or have gored a daughter, according to this judgment shall it be done unto him. If the ox shall push a manservant or a maid servant, he shall give unto their master 30 shekels of silver, and the ox shall be stoned. And if a man shall open a pit, or if a dig a pit, and not cover it, and an ox or an ass fall therein, the owner of the pit shall make it good, and give money unto the owner of them, and the dead beast shall be his. And if one man's ox hurt another that he die, then they shall sell the live ox and divide the money of it, and the dead ox also they shall divide. Or if it be known that the ox have used to push in time past, and his owner have not kept him in, he shall surely pay an ox for an ox, and the dead shall be his own. So this is the end of chapter 21. Though last couple verses 28 through 36 was just talking about laws regarding the oxen. It's funny. I wanted to just touch on verse 35 one more time. And if a man ox hurt another's, if one man's ox hurt another's that he died, then they shall sell the live ox and divide the money of it, and the dead ox also they shall divide. It did like a Bible trivia question. Well, this ain't no trivia question. Did y'all know King Solomon did that with the two harlots that were arguing about who dead baby that was, and King Solomon like, okay, I'm about to just cut this baby in half. Y'all remember that?
I'm
Yeah,
familiar.
that was one of the first demonstrations of his wisdom.
Yeah, and it's funny how he how like you can like me reading verse 35, I just thought about that scriptures. Like, can you say, and I could be wrong, but could you say like King Solomon was kind of like following this specific commandment right here, or nah?
I wouldn't attribute it to that. Basically, like when I read verse 35, it's saying, man, put your dog on a leash, bro.
Okay.
Put him on a leash.
Okay.
Because this to me, this is more of a liability scripture. Like the Most High accounts for liability
Mm-hmm.
uh by that would come about by virtue of people being what's the word for not being careful. They just being
Reckless.
reckless, or just it's another word that I'm looking for. Careless. They
All things.
careless, they reckless. Man, to whom much is given, much is required, man. So that's
Right.
basically about assuming responsibility. If you got this vicious breed of dog, or you got this bull with these horns, or you have all these other things or even a hole in the ground. If you have a hole in the ground for whatever you want to use that hole for, you must understand and take precautions that, to avoid situations where you cause damage or harm to other people's personal self or their belongings. Simple as that. And the Most High accounts for that in His laws. The same thing, right, man. If you got a little small child, and the neighbor 3 houses down from you, his pit bull mauls your child's face off, you want some type of justice. And the Most High is a God of justice, and He accounts for that in His law.
That's right.
And
That's
you
right.
could tell Paul was definitely a student of the law. 1 Corinthians 14 and 40. All things should be done decently and in order.
That's right.
All things. Because he understood that the Most High had already accounted for all things, even the liability of one's ignorance per se,
That's the word I was looking for. The brothers
or
just
or
acting ignorant.
or carelessness. So yeah, I can definitely agree. But just to reference back a little bit to what Solomon was doing in that situation for the viewers out there and for Brother Shem as well, I would more so say it was giving an example of his wisdom by him using reverse psychology to make one of them women tell the truth.
Con.
I mean,
So
I wouldn't even say she told the truth. Her expression demonstrated where which one loved that child the most.
right.
Because what she ended up doing is saying, you know what, that's not even my baby. You
Mm-hmm.
can have it just so we can live.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And
Con.
and I just want to throw this out here, for the people out here. The law is our basically like our school marriage. Let me put it out. Galatians 3 and 4, right? Wherefore the law was our school marriage to bring us into Christ, that we might be justified by faith. What that Paul was literally saying, the law literally taught us what to do in order to get salvation. Right? We have to not only have the faith, but we must keep the laws as well. That's why when we go to Revelations 22, verse 14, he said, blessed are they that do his commandments, that they may have right to the tree of life and may enter in through the gates into the city. The laws is what Yahushua, who the word ignorantly called Jesus Christ, is he's the gift of salvation. But in order to receive that full package, we must allow the law to direct us to Yahushua in order to get us that salvation. You know what I'm saying? And that's what Paul was saying in Galatians 3 and 4. And just to target back on what Brother Mun was trying, well, not trying, but what Brother Mun did say. So I just wanted to put that in there.
Con. So I guess if y'all don't mind, we can do 22 and wrap it up. I believe 23 is more commandments as well. Before Moses goes into offering sacrifices and things of that nature. In my physical Bible, the title of chapter 23 is laws regarding ethics as well. So I guess we can go into 23. I'll tackle it. It's not a long chapter. So this is the book of Exodus, chapter 23, starting at verse 1. And I'll go straight through with this one and maybe just give a ad lib instead of a brief intermission when we hit a power verse. Thou shalt not raise a false report. Put not thine hand with the wicked to be an unrighteous witness. Thou shalt not follow a multitude to do evil. Neither shalt thou speak in a cause to decline after many to wrest judgment. Neither shalt thou countenance a poor man in his cause. If thou meet thine enemy's ox or his ass going astray, thou shalt surely bring it back to him again. If thou see the ass of him that hateth thee lying under a burden, and wouldest forbear to help him, thou shalt surely help him. Mm. Thou shalt not rest the judgment of the poor in his cause. Keep thee far from a false matter, and the innocent and righteous slay thou not, for I will not justify the wicked. And thou shalt take no gift, for the gift blindeth the wise. Uh, Salaki, I said I wasn't gonna stop, but one of the things that I've been thinking about all day, I'm glad I reread this scripture. Um, I got a quote unquote birthday coming up tomorrow, and I was just wondering, like, okay, I know it's not right for me to celebrate myself and exalt myself, but can I accept gifts from others if they're offering me gifts for my birthday? And it clearly says, "And thou shalt take no gift, for the gift blindeth the wise." And I definitely consider myself a man with wisdom, with some type of wisdom, even if it's just a little bit. So I won't be accepting any gifts.
Man, read that. Ain't that a precept of Ecclesiastes 7:7?
Uh, Ecclesiastes 7:7. Let's bring it out. And this is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 7. Well, I just turned past it 3 times. Ecclesiastes chapter 7, verse 7, you said?
Con.
And it reads, "Surely oppression maketh a wise man mad, and a gift destroyeth the heart." Oh, yeah, that's a perfect precept. Let me highlight that out. That's a perfect precept. Go ahead and write Exodus 23 and was it verse 6?
Um,
Hey, con. Hey, let me write Exodus 23 and 8 next to that. That's a powerful, and I like to jot down my precepts.
it's verse 8. Exodus chapter 23, verse 8.
Con. Con. Appreciate that precept. Um, So yeah, that I said I wasn't gonna stop, but it hit home. It hit personal for me, and that's a perfect example to any of the viewers out there that have the same questions, that are trying to keep the commandments while living in a wicked world that has already Hellenized us to so much things that we have to question whether or not it's lawful. So me personally, that's what I understand from this scripture. I don't think there's a private interpretation. I can't see it to mean too much other things than we shouldn't accept gifts from people. And it says no
Well,
gift
I think in
specifically.
the context of this, we don't need gifts as far as a bribe. We're not to take bribes for wickedness. Because that's why you're
Con.
reading in verse 1, it said, "Thou shalt not raise a false report, put not thine hand with the wicked to be an unrighteous witness." That's a brother lying on the stand, right?
Mm-hmm.
Verse 2, it says, "Thou shalt not follow a multitude," right? That's a jury to do evil. "Neither shalt thou speak in a cause to decline," right? To get him found not guilty after many to rest judgment. His judgment is supposed to be guilty. You
Mm-hmm.
shouldn't be letting things come out your mouth or be bribed to be able, to get yourself to the point where you're lying for this brother, knowing he guilty of murder. You watching it happen with Young Thug right now. That man got blood on his hands, but he being glorified, right?
Mm-hmm.
It said, "Neither shalt thou countenance a poor man in his cause. If thou meet thine enemy ox or ass going astray, thou shalt surely bring it back to him again. If thou see the ass of him that hateth thee lying under his burden and wouldest forbear to help him, thou shalt surely help with him." Man, you can't stand this brother, but you see him stranded on the side of the road. Man, help that brother. After that, he ain't gonna be your enemy no more. If he is, that's on him,
Mm-hmm.
right? And all of these verses are dealing with judgment. So judgments come from court systems or judicial systems, which is what the law is. When you go in court, you have a law. This Bible is a law. So
Mm-hmm.
when we dealing with judgment, we not supposed to respect persons in judgment, and we supposed to just make sure that we trying to do the right thing at all times. So don't let nobody bribe you out of doing what's right. That's the gift that destroys the heart.
Right. And the law that we use to judge each other and to judge the rest of the nations as well that are amongst us is this law that we are reading right here. And this is one of the reasons that I wanted to go into this specific book with our introduction, because once again, we are brothers that are bound by Yahweh, and only the instruction is what brought us together. Only the relation and the being on one accord and the understanding that this instruction is true indeed is what brought us together and why we are staying bound together. This is the law right here that is perfect. You don't find too many questions you don't find too many logical questions that are in the parameters of ancient wisdom. We're not gonna talk about all the new terms like gaslighting and non-binary and the different sexes, and it's a difference between sex and gender. We won't get into all of that. But
It's bullshit.
as far as ancient wisdom and knowledge, we definitely say that all the answers to our questions are in this book, and all the justifications for situations, even modern day situations, the justice is in this law. Khan, if no more turkey base, I'll go ahead and continue. We were leaving off from verse 8. I appreciate that breakdown for even deeper understanding, Brother Kyrod. Um, I'll reread verse 8. It says, "And thou shalt take no gift, for the gift blindeth the wise, and perverteth the words of the righteous. Also, thou shalt not oppress a stranger, for ye know the heart of a stranger, seeing ye were strangers in the land of Egypt. In 6 years thou shalt sow thy land, and shalt gather in the fruits thereof. But the seventh year thou shalt let it rest and lie still, that the poor of thy people may eat, and what they leave, the beasts of the field shall eat. In like manner thou shalt deal with thy vineyard and with thy olive yard. 6 days thou shalt do thy work, and on the seventh day thou shalt rest, that thine ox and thine ass may rest, and the son of thy handmaid and the stranger may be refreshed." So even your slaves need a break, nigga. Chill out. "And in all things that I have said unto you, be circumspect, and make no mention of the name of other gods, neither let it be heard out of thy mouth. 3 times thou shalt keep a feast unto me in the year. Thou shalt keep the feast of unleavened bread. Thou shalt eat unleavened bread 7 days, as I commanded thee, in the appointed time of the month of Abib. For in it thou camest out from Egypt, and none shall appear before me empty. In the feast of harvest, the first fruits of thy labors, which thou hast sown in the field, and feast of ingathering, which is in the end of the year, when thou hast gathered in thy labors out of the field. 3 times in the year all the males shall appear before the Lord God. Thou shalt not offer the blood of my sacrifice with leavened bread, neither shall the fat of my sacrifice remain until the morning. The first of the first fruits of thy land shall bring into the house of the Lord thy God. Thou shalt not see a kid in his mother's milk. Behold, I send an angel before thee, to keep thee in the way, and to bring thee into the place which I have prepared. Beware of him, and obey his voice. Provoke him not, for he will not pardon your transgressions, for my name is in him. But if thou shalt indeed obey his voice, and do all that I speak, then I will be an enemy unto the enemies, and the adversary unto the adversaries. For mine angel shall go before thee, and bring thee into the Amorites, and the Hittites, and the Perizzites, and the Canaanites, and the Hivites, and the Jebusites, and I will cut them off. Thou shalt not bow down to their gods, nor serve them, nor do after their works, but thou shalt utterly overthrow them, and quite break down their images. And ye shall serve the Lord your God, and he shall bless thy bread and thy water, and I will take sickness away from the midst of thee. There shall nothing cast their young, nor be barren in thy land. The number of thy days I will fulfill. I will send my fear before thee. I will destroy all the people to whom thou shalt come, and I will make all thine enemies turn their backs unto thee. And I will send hornets before thee, which shall drive out the Hivite, the Canaanite, and the Hittite from before thee. I will not drive them out from before thee in 1 year, lest the land become desolate, and the beasts of the field multiply against thee. By little and little I will drive them out before thee, until you be increased and inherit the land. And I will set the bounds from the Red Sea, even unto the sea of the Philistines, from the desert unto the river, for I will deliver inhabitants of the land into your hand, and thou shalt drive them out before thee. Thou shalt make no covenant with them, nor with their gods. They shall not dwell in the land, lest they make thee sin against me. For if thou serve their gods, it will surely be a snare unto thee. So this is something that happened in the time of Moses as well as I can see. And it also breaks down and fits into some future prophecies as well.
Con.
Read Hebrews 10:1 real quick.
Con.
That's crazy. I had that in the chamber real quick, just reading this, because it's a lot of things that can be expounded on or whatever. But this
Right, right.
precept right here basically puts things into perspective. A lot of times you think the Most High might be pitying his law by telling us to keep little small details, but you got to understand why he has this like it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's read that real quick. It says, "For the law having a shadow of good things to come. He told you to rest your land on the seventh day, because 7 days from the creation of man in 1,000 year intervals is gonna come that day of rest. It's gonna come your rulership, right? He's telling you, you know, you might read this right here where it says, I think that's verse 29. I will not drive them out from before thee in 1 year, lest the land become desolate and the beasts of the field multiply against thee. You think just because he's using a law that's pertaining to animals, you don't even realize that the beasts of the field are the other nations around you. And if you don't do what he tells you to do, these other nations are gonna multiply around you and consume you.
Con.
They're gonna be a snare unto you. They're gonna be a thorn in your side. You get what I'm saying? Even all these feasts right here, that right from verse 14 all the way down to verse 19. The only way that you can understand the nature of the Most High and how He's coming back is by keeping these laws. And I'm here to tell you guys, you probably can't predict it down to the T, but you had better be keeping these feasts when He come back, because He probably gonna come back on the feast of harvest. You feel what I'm saying? It's a shadow of good things to come. You might want to be keeping the feast of harvest with your brothers when he returns.
Con.
The
Con.
Most High not looking for couch potatoes, and doing the bare minimum will not get you in the kingdom. You see what I'm saying? Look like a couple of brothers then already hopped off. The bare minimum won't get you in the kingdom. What you got to do to make these brothers wake up? They're just so quick to give up on their brothers and haul ass. Why? It don't make no sense. Everybody should be putting forth the same type of effort, man. We all in captivity. Some blessed more than others, but the primary goal when we wake up should be our brothers, man. Because
Mm-hmm.
the law having a shadow of good things to come is what we need to understand when we're reading these laws.
Con. Con. Con.
You said somebody left?
You can predict who left. There's nothing need to be said. But anyway, this might go live. But anyway, it's just the nature of men. We're all men, And we all need to keep striving for the truth until death, man. And Matthew 24 says, he that endured to the end. Y'all got to get y'all endurance up. See what I'm saying? We got to get our endurance up. I got to get my endurance up. You can't get endurance up by being slack. You get what I'm saying?
Mhm.
The only way that you get your endurance, if you get on a treadmill, man, and the first day you get on a treadmill, it take you 24 minutes to run 1 mile. The only way you get your endurance up is to endure. You have to repeatedly, consistently keep working your muscles and your heart.
I ain't gonna lie though, cuz in his defense, he did work 16 hours a day.
Yeah, yeah. And I
That's
keep
true.
telling y'all, ain't no but with God, right?
It ain't,
Ain't
it
no
ain't, it
but.
ain't, it ain't, it
Yep.
ain't.
So
They
so
will
let's
show up.
stop doing it.
They
But
show
I'm
up.
gonna go ahead and agree with you with your but. And what if I come back with but you still get waxed? Your
Yeah,
candle can still get blowed out. But we can but all day. What is the significance of but? But mean I got something to add from the way I feel.
yeah,
Everybody that use the word but need to read Philippians chapter 2. Ain't
Talk
no
about your
but
house
with
shot.
God. You gotta reduce yourself for your brothers. You have to.
Mhm.
Ain't no but with God. And they should be doing the same thing in return. And that's gonna make you stop using but so much.
yeah. Show it up though. I appreciate it.
Yeah, we passed our time, man. This was powerful. Y'all killed 3 chapters in an hour and 30 minutes. Uh
Damn,
yeah.
Azariah left too.
Well, his wife just got off, so that's to be understood. We did pre-discuss that. It's just now coming back to mind, and we were 4 minutes over our time. So it's still powerful. The law is powerful. It's just powerful if you just read it with
Yeah.
no
You say
type of
you excusing Azariah for what?
no. I can't excuse
Still
nobody.
recording,
You
y'all.
see what I'm
I'm still
saying?
recording.
Con,
Yeah.
con, con. I can't excuse nobody. I'm the most high not a respecter of persons. You see what I'm saying? But people do. I do understand people have personal lives, and you know, people have on different. Everybody's on different schedules, man, and I respect that.
Yeah.
But the effort outside of that in Israel altogether should be elevated, one towards
Sure.
another. That's all I'm saying.
Sure.
I can't judge nobody, man. I'm literally nothing.
Sure. I understand
All
what
I
you're
can
saying.
do is just keep giving these words of encouragement, man, because that's what a soldier does. He drives on through pain, through pressure, through adversity, right? Through good. Even when it's going good, he driving on. Most High looking for soldiers, and the bare minimum won't get us in the kingdom, y'all. So that's all I'm saying. That's the message. It still pertains to what we reading here. And once again, I'm nothing.
Done. But with that being said, man, we can wrap up our reading for the night, man. Once again, we are 3BY men. We are human, just like the rest of our brothers. We do fall short, just like the rest of our brothers. But we don't consider ourselves over here are sinners. We like to consider ourselves law keepers because we understand that there are laws of offense. So, like I say, we don't exalt ourselves high on any pedestals. We let the Most High put us on any pedestals that we deserve to be on in our rightful time. With that being said, we give all praises. Call Allah, Bana Wa Yahweh, Shem Yahweh Shai Mashiach, Shalom, Kwam Yasharala.
Shalom.
Shalom, man. Shalom. Kwan Yasharala.
Shalom,
Kwame
shalom.
Yasharala.
It's about balance, 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 balance.